Each day I can feel the earth getting warmer and warmer. Spring is fast approaching and tasks are piling up. I decided to get myself even more excited for spring by doing a reset. I started with switching out my winter wardrobe to my spring wardrobe. I like to start this process by pulling everything out. Having a clean slate is better for my creative process. Once everything is pulled out, I choose a few pieces from my winter wardrobe that would still work in spring and put those back on the rack. Then it's time to look at my spring/summer clothing to determine what I want to wear this spring. This spring was easy because I have created a Pinterest board with spring ideas. I started by pulling out my favorite pieces and stick with similar colors. This year, it was off-white, denim blue, green, and brown. I also like to do a declutter every season, to either get rid of items or to put things on trial by storing them away for a season or two, to see if I miss them. Once everything was arranged for the season, it's time to move on to packing up my winter items. Most of my wardrobe consists of natural fibers, which means wool in the winter. To prevent damage from happening, I've started to vacuum seal my wool items and store them away. I want my wool to last me for years and years. With my spring capsule wardrobe finally complete, it was time to move on to the few winter decorations I still had up around the house. I don't really celebrate holidays, except for Valentine's Day since it's fun, but rather celebrate seasons. So for all of winter, I'll have a pine tree decorated with handmade decorations, but they are not specific to any holiday, but rather to the season of winter. That is why I am taking this down in early March and not in early January, since it symbolizes a season rather than a holiday. Aside from a few more sewing projects, I'm pretty much ready for spring. I took down my winter decorations, and for spring, I don't really have any spring decorations, but what I usually do is I buy flowers, and I usually do that from spring to summer. I'll just buy seasonal flowers, so I think I will go out today and grab some flowers. But before we grab flowers, I actually have recycling that I need to do, and I don't do this seasonally. I do this every few weeks or so. I'm hoping that it's going to be less and less that I need to go to recycling because I'm just buying less things in general. But as you can see, this is pretty full, so I need to go to recycling today. I'm also wearing my white top that I made in my last video. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll link it somewhere above. But I've been wearing this on repeat any day that I get any little inkling of sun. I am just putting this on and it feels so good to wear my own creations. I really do need to get back into sewing. I think in my last video, I told you guys I was working on a pair of shorts and I had everything cut out, I had everything pinned, but I have not even started on those shorts. I just kind of hit a little bit of a burnout. I think I was sewing too much too fast. It does take a lot of mental energy to sit down and also just the fear of messing up, some fabric. So I took a little break, but I'm hoping to get back into it today. I'm gonna do the recycling, we're gonna go grab some flowers, and then hopefully I can get back to finishing sewing those shorts, or at least starting to sew the shorts. One of my favorite things about spring is buying flowers every few weeks. It's something small that brings me a lot of joy and decorates the house with something natural. I love smelling fresh flowers first thing in the morning when I go down to make my morning tea. Last year, I attempted to have plants, but they all ended up dying. I do a lot of traveling and work, so it's hard to keep up with plants. That's why flowers are a nice addition to my space, to add something that is natural without the commitment. While you can buy flowers year-round, I only buy them during the spring and summer months. This gives me something to look forward to and keeps me in season. For fall and winter months, I'll decorate with things in nature that are more in tune with the season. It has been such a nice day. It was 71 degrees, I think, by the time that I got back, so it really warmed up to the point where that jacket was way too hot. So on the way to grab flowers, I saw another flower shop, so I wanted to go in and check their prices because it was a local flower shop, and right next to it was a thrift store. I almost didn't go inside because I kept telling myself I didn't need anything, and I didn't want to get caught up with seeing all the pretty spring things and buying something impulsively, but I just went ahead and trusted my judgment that I wasn't going to buy anything if I didn't feel like I needed or wanted it, and I found something that I've been looking for a very long time. I got this beautiful nightgown. It's very flowy, it's very romantic. It is exactly what I've been looking for. It even has little roses embroidered. I've been wanting to make something like this, but I just knew that I could never, this is just way too time consuming for me and not something that I'm super interested in. So when I saw this at the thrift store, I knew I had to get it. I got it for $8. On my sew list is a nightgown. So what I'm planning to do, because this is a size either medium or large, so even though this was 2 sizes too big, this was way too good to pass up. So I'm just going to take it in. I need to take it in on the sides, and then I also need to take it in on the strap length, which after looking at it, I figured it was pretty easy to do. So once I do that, I'm going to cross nightgown off of my sew list because I can't get any better than this. This is so romantic. This is so what I'm into right now. And this is going to be perfect for spring nights and summer mornings. This alteration ended up being a nice, easy project. I was so excited to wear it that I washed and dried the nightgown that same night. And I also ended up only needing to take it in on the shoulders to make it fit. Since it was an easy project, it also helped me get out of my sewing rut, and I was able to start making progress on the ruffle shorts that night and finish them the next day. Good morning. I'm actually wearing my little PJ shorts that I sewed. Originally, I wanted to do a bigger ruffle, but I'm actually glad that the smaller ruffle came out because I feel like it looks more dainty. It's just kind of like a subtle little accent. The original pattern for these shorts were just plain linen shorts that had the drawstring. I'm the one who added the ruffle to it. And I also took in some other things in other places just to make it fit me a little bit better than I thought the pattern would originally fit me. And I also have elastic in the back of the waist. And then in the front, I have more of the cotton sewed into a tie, if that makes sense. I'm actually going on vacation next week, so by the time I get back, it will officially be spring here, and that's why I wanted to do this spring reset now versus later. I didn't want to be rushed when I came back to do everything that I need to do for spring, so I wanted to start super early now, so that when I get back, I can just enjoy spring and I don't have to be inside the house cleaning, taking stuff down. I can be outside enjoying this beautiful time in nature. I can't express to you guys how much I love spring because winter is always so depressing for me that it's so nice to be outside, not be melting, and seeing all the new growth and just seeing how nature just regenerates. It's so beautiful to me. So I'm super excited to come back and hopefully see some lush greenness growing. I'm really happy that I was able to tie up all of my sewing projects before I went on vacation, just because I feel like it's really hard when you start a project and then you stop and you have to come back to it. I feel like my brain has to get back into that mode. I have to figure out what was my last step, and it's just a lot easier this way having everything finished. So I won't be able to finish something else before I leave for my trip, so I'm not going to start on the PJ top just yet. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys being here. I know a lot of you have been enjoying more of the cinematic vlogs, and I know somebody suggested that I should do more in-depth on the sewing, maybe showing you guys a little bit more of my process and talking you through some things. This isn't a sewing channel, so it's not going to be a tutorial per se, but just talking you through more of the steps. If that's something that you guys are interested in, please let me know, and I would be more than happy to show you more of the steps. I was just a little unsure if you guys wanted to watch something like that. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.